It was the last sport I picked up, but one that got me from the beginning, kind of harnessed that passion from the very moment I picked up a stick, and I haven't put it down since. I was about 5 or 6 years old when my family relocated from Virginia to Maryland, and up until then I had never seen lacrosse before.
Lacrosse in Maryland is really special. Kids start playing really young here. There's a huge market for youth lacrosse. The club lacrosse teams have really grown over the past, however many years. High school lacrosse is really good, and then obviously lacrosse at the University of Maryland is really special and something that people in the state get really excited about.
To come from a place where it wasn't played at all to then move to a neighborhood and to a state where it's pretty much the state sport was a big change for me, but a really exciting one.
I remember watching Taylor when she was a freshman and watching her play at her high school at McDonough.
I chose lacrosse as like my main sport probably in 8th grade. Up until then, I wanted to play soccer, wanted to be on the U.S. Women's National Team for soccer. Mia Hamm, Abby Wambach, they were my biggest idols.
So I remember reaching out about Taylor to her club coach and high school coach, and we were really excited about the possibility of recruiting her, and then found out that she wasn't interested in the University of Maryland at all.
I honestly didn't want to go here. During my recruiting process, I had looked at pretty much all of the top 10, top 15 schools farther away from home. So Maryland really wasn't on my list. And it took my club coach actually telling me and convincing me to give this place a try.
So we had to really just try to convince her to come down and visit us.
Kathy and Kenneth, and at that time Quinn, had recruited me so hard over the past 2 years. They came to every single club game, went to my high school games, really, really wanted me, put in so much effort to get me onto campus.
When Taylor met with us, I just felt like we had a connection from the start.
I told my mom it was a waste of gas to drive down here, and then within a 2-hour visit, I wanted to commit.
We really knew that she was the perfect fit for Maryland lacrosse and the perfect fit for our style of play. Her speed, her athleticism, her ability to get the ball from one end of the field to the other, her vision for the game, her passion, her work ethic. She was it. She was meant to be a Terp.
And then Kathy just described the culture she was building here, one that was a group of players who were like family, who could push each other on field and off field and have a balance between having fun and working hard and competing for national championships, ACC championships at that time. And that's what I wanted to be a part of. That had everything I wanted as far as the lacrosse team went. And then going on a tour of campus with her, seeing the Smith School, learning more about the educational side really just brought in that full student athlete picture that I was looking for.
It's hard to predict where people are going to go, but my goodness, we had such high expectations and hopes and vision for her and what she could do.
It was a culture and a family atmosphere that I wanted to be a part of. Maryland went from not on my list to the top, and a few months later I committed.
And when she came in, she just crushed it, from being a freshman on the field and helping our team get to the national championship game. We lost in a heartbreaker in 2013, but she was a huge part of our success that season.
North Carolina says you can have the Atlantic coast. This one goes coast to coast. Maryland's perfect season is no longer.
Having the foundation of playing and knowing my role on the team my freshman year definitely helped me feel more secure going into my sophomore year. It was a new year and a new opportunity, and I think for us as returners, we didn't talk about it, but it was never leaving the back of our minds that that's where we wanted to get to.
We have wanted this since last year. It has been in the back of our heads no matter who says it wasn't, and I am just so proud. We are so young.
We had a really underrated team going in. I think we were the lowest ranked we'd ever been in preseason in my 4 years there. And we won regular season ACCs, we won, ACC championship, we won the national championship, and that was the best feeling to get back there and to go from devastation the year before to winning was just really coming full circle with a team that I think was really underrated going into the year.
Here you have a sophomore who is stepping up, leading the team, getting it done on the field, going on to be the tournament MVP, winning a national championship, and to earning the Tewarton Award as a sophomore was such a special moment that I was really fortunate to share, and we'll never forget that whole journey.
And I've been told the winner is Taylor Cummings.
Taylor, having come off the Tewarton as a sophomore, could step right up and just lead the way. And the way that Taylor was such a great leader was by, again, her work ethic, and she walked the walk. You know, she was someone that came out every day.
I think once you taste victory and you taste what it's like to win a national championship, the celebrations afterwards with the alums and your family and the friends and the whole spectacle of the Final Four, that's what you want to get back to. So I think for us going into that 2015 year, it was not a quiet storm, something lingering in the back of our minds. We very much we want to win another national championship. I think I'd be lying if I said I didn't feel pressure. As I went through college, I noticed how many young girls would come to our games and look up to us and ask for autographs and ask us questions about, who we were and why we played and whatnot. And I think you realize early on that you're a role model to these kids, whether you want to be or not, and whether you've chosen it or not. And for me, it wouldn't be authentic or real if I wasn't honest about some of the struggles I've had. Being an athlete and being a female athlete is really difficult because a lot of the typical beauty standards that society has created don't necessarily align with what you see in the mirror and who you are. I realized kind of how visible I was and how much I was getting, being put in magazines and having pictures taken of me, and it kind of started a vicious cycle of over-exercising and under-eating that lasted about 6 or 7 months. And it was a really dark time for me where I wasn't happy with who I wasn't happy with, the choices I was making, but I kept making them anyway. And it really took me having a great support system in my friends and my family and my teammates and my coaches to kind of pull myself out of that and realize that, my friends and family and coaches and teammates don't care if I'm a size 0 or a size 20. They just want me to be happy and healthy and enjoy life and enjoy playing. And that was something, without them, I don't think I would have been able to get through that time.
She gave me her best in everything she did. She was a leader from the start, and that's another reason why we went on to win that 2015 championship.
A happy memory fuel you was just as satisfying as having a heartbreaking memory fuel you.
Fear the Turtle, Taylor Cummings, University of Maryland.
For me, the Tewarton was never a goal. I always thought of it sort of as like a cherry on top after the season was done. I think the people who win the Tewarton, I think back to the Megan Taylors and the Zoe Stukenbergs and Katie Schwartzmans. That was never a goal of theirs that they put on a piece of paper at the beginning of a season to win a Tewarton. It was to win a national championship, to win an ACC championship, win the regular season. And I think with players who are so team focused that all of those accolades come afterwards because they're really a result of team success.
The first ever 3-time male or female winner, Taylor Cummings.
I don't know if anyone will ever be able to accomplish what Taylor has or win the Tewarton 3 times like she has. This is just when you can sit back and look at what she's done and what she's accomplished, what a just spectacular journey and ride it's been, and something that I am so grateful to have been a part of.
I want to say thank you for taking a chance on me and for giving me the opportunity to
come to a place like Maryland, learn, grow, have the best 4 years possible. I've come out of there with the best friends and the best memories that I could ever ask for. I know for a fact I couldn't have won any year if it weren't for the amazing players and coaches around me who not only played on the field with me and made me look good and caught all my passes, but also were there just supporting me the entire way. So I've always thought of the Tewaratons as sort of a team trophy that just lives at my house, but it's really a team trophy.
Taylor was that player at the game that the little girls would be waiting for her autograph afterwards, would be holding up signs and posters, and everyone wanted to be Taylor Cummings, and rightfully so. She had really just set a standard for women's lacrosse and for little girls to dream of for the future.
I think for me, I want to be remembered as somebody who is a good teammate, who would do anything to help their team succeed on and off the field, and as somebody who just loves to compete every day, regardless of the wins. And I hope when people look back on me as former teammates, or Kathy and Kenneth and Caitlin as a former player, that they can say that.
Taylor was so great because of her work ethic. She worked so hard. She wanted to be the best she could be. She wanted to be the best teammate she could be. She worked on her stick work, her shooting, her draw controls, her fitness, her speed, her agilities, her quickness. Every part of our sport, Taylor focused on, and she worked on and continued to, and she still does to this day, and that's what makes her one of the best players in the world.
I loved the people that I played lacrosse with. I think the people and the teammates and the coaches I had, even growing up, were the people I wanted to be around. And as I got older and I started to understand more about what this lacrosse community is and the spirit of our community and the spirit of the game, it just kept me in.
Even upon graduation, she's one of those players that will always be connected to the University of Maryland, will always be connected to me, will always be a part of our program, and we're so thankful for that.